Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and the iPhone 7 Plus has been out for about 2 months now, and I wanted to share with you how it's been and what I think of it after using it, and show you how it's actually held up. Now the first thing is the design and the durability of this black or flat black material, and pretty much it's held up better than I expected. And I say that because my iPhone 6S and iPhone 6 started to get some wear here. Now I don't use a case. I don't like them in general. I don't use them unless I really need to. So if I'm somewhere where it's going to get dirty or dusty, I'll throw it in a case. But from day-to-day use, I really don't use one these days. And the back here, you'll see it's not really worn too much, but on the 6S Plus that I used to use, this wore right down to the aluminum just from picking it up and setting it down over and over for a year. And this one is actually holding up a little bit better. It doesn't have any wear around the camera lens like the other one did that I had as well, so it's actually holding up a little bit better. And I thought that maybe the black anodization would actually wear off much quicker, but so far it hasn't. So that's good. The rest of it is holding up well. Now, if you saw my other video, it does creak when you twist it a little bit, and there's many of you that say you have the exact same issue. And so that's kind of a concern long-term durability-wise. So that's definitely something to look out for, but right now it's not affecting the way it works or the performance or anything like that. The next thing is the camera. The camera is really very impressive. This is one of the best cameras I've seen in a long time, probably on most smartphones. The Pixel from Google is pretty close. In fact, I filmed that video with this camera and was very, very impressed. It just does a great job. When you're taking a photo, it's very fast. There's not really much lag at all when you hit the shutter button. It's quite nice as far as that goes, and I don't really have any problems with it. If I hit 2x, it zooms right in. I know there is some stutter sometimes with video if you're panning left to right and it's changing exposure and white balance and all that. Sometimes it stutters a little bit, and hopefully that'll be updated and addressed in a future update. Speaking of updates, I've been running this on iOS 10.2 betas, and I've always used betas on my phone, so I can share that with you. And this phone is kind of mixed when it comes to the betas and the battery life. The battery life is generally pretty good, but on my 6S Plus, I found that when I was running a beta, I just didn't have as many issues with battery. Now, this one I seem to have quite a few issues with battery. Sometimes I'll get through a day and it'll be great, and then other times I'm at 65%. I've used it. I've even plugged it in today some. So I don't know what's killing my battery as fast as this is, but it's pretty disconcerting actually to me that it's using battery that much. And I am on betas, like I said, and I did use a personal hotspot, but I plugged it in after that and brought the battery right back up. So it's kind of strange that it's doing that, but that's unfortunate at this point. I have good battery life. It's just not as good as I expected, I suppose. The other thing is iOS 10. iOS 10 is actually pretty fast. I really don't have any issues. It doesn't lag much or anything like that, really ever. However, it has frozen from time to time, and that might be because it's on a beta, although I've heard other people saying they've had it freeze up, and they're not on a beta as well. So that's one thing that's kind of a little bit concerning as far as overall usability. It's almost like Apple has not really focused as much on getting all the bugs out these past few years. I could be wrong, but that's just my experience. I love the speakers on it. The speakers are great, although it's definitely biased towards the bottom here, and this pushes out some sound, but it's not as loud. So if you're holding this and you hold it cupped like this, you're going to have a similar experience when you're listening or watching video or listening to music. If you hold your hand over it, it'll sound louder here, but if you leave your hand off, it sounds louder off the right side. So it's just one of those things that's due to the way it's designed. And speaking of that, the lack of headphone jack, I honestly have to say I thought it wouldn't be much of a big deal, but it's really a big pain to me. I often use a pair of headphones, wired and wireless, but the wired headphones that I use, I'll use the wired headphones in a computer, I'll unplug them and go to plug them in my phone and forget I need an adapter. And so what I'll do is, because I carry a couple phones usually when I'm reviewing, I'll just grab the phone with the headphone jack in it instead of worrying about getting an adapter. Just one of those things that I find to be an annoyance and unnecessary. Now that might be something in the future as far as some really nice headphones or changes to the upcoming iPhone with iPhone 8, but right now it just drives me nuts. I do use a pair of Beats, these Beats Solo 3. These have the W1 chip in it that works specifically with the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, and they work great, but I just find this whole thing unnecessary. So that said, I think it's a good phone. I think if you're upgrading from a 6S to a 7, I'm not sure you should do that unless you upgrade every year. Just wait until next year and get the next one, because it's really not that much of a big deal other than the camera. The camera is a very nice camera and a big upgrade in my opinion. Everything else is mediocre. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I just wanted to share a quick 2-month update and see what you guys think. Of course, I'll link the wallpaper in the description below. I do that in all my videos, so hopefully if you enjoy them, you go and grab them there. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.